We've had a lake effect snow band sitting over Soldier Field since about 9 this morning, and it's not supposed to budge anytime soon. The good news, the folks don't seem to mind here in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerge from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Here's the Australian-born punter Mitch Wishnowsky to get things going. And off we go from Soldier Field. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Now these two teams, you might recall, met back in mid-season, week 8 to be exact. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. On second down, a run with Breida. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Here's a handoff left side to Breida. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession. Here comes the Bears punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty's going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Short little throw to Ebron. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with a missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And partner, let me make a quick pivot here. Season winding down. They're number 32 in offense this year. The last in the league. Where do they go?
Anywhere and everywhere, but they have to do it with a plan. And I think about Atlanta a bunch of years ago. They decided they wanted to get what they thought was going to be a franchise quarterback, and indeed he is, Matt Ryan. But they had to supplement it. They went free agency, got a running back, came back and traded back into the first round in the same draft to get a left tackle to protect him. Really supplemented that pick, complemented that pick, and went to the playoffs the very next year.
So maybe they can use that and carbon copy it. Now a give to Breida.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
To throw on 3rd down, Sampson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 27. Give to Cook out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Sure didn't take this offense long to get within striking distance of the end zone. 2 plays.
Feel the energy? You can just feel it, can't you? Because they are creating it on offense. The way they're running the football. Now they've swept into the red zone. Momentum all on their side.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to get this one down to Cook, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That catch good for only a couple.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
2nd down and 8. They'll look to throw. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
One into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a 2nd time.
They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. On 3rd down, Sampson. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That throw right sideline is complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. I love that play, because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Zadarius Smith in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. A give. This is Cook. Space to run past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Joseph on for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
On 1st and 10, Sampson. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Again, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, let's be honest about the whole thing. When you're looking for a reliable set of hands on third down, the first thought is often not fullback. But that's who they turn to there, and he does a nice job of securing the football and picking up the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Breida. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They run with Breida. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 43 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Now a give running left is Breida. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now it's Breida. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The Bears on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. Off the play fake. Sampson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Chaz Surratt coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And it bangs off the right upright, no good.
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept you in a lot of games. And now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
Let's go now.
They go play action here on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach. And let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. Hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach. But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Second and 4.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. The false start hurts him there a bit, backs him up to 2nd and 9. Now back to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. It oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And the route is on here in this first half.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. A good run there by Cook on 1st down, powering his way forward, a gain of 6.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On play action, they'll throw. And he finds his target, Ebron. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Well, the most famous one in my lifetime, I think, is got to be 01, right? Raiders, Patriots, to send the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
You had to go to the Tuck roll, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one people remember. But I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game. In New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Is that 82?
That was 82, and the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow nonetheless. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
And they'll go back to Smith. This time it's complete.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And looks like they've got 6 DBs on the field here for a 3rd and 9.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So that one will be accepted. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Second down at 7.
They'll set up to throw. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. And there's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Nwangu going to get it on the counter. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Second and 2. Back to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. From the gun on 3rd down, Sampson. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
Second and 10. He finds his man, complete. It's Andrews. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
These two teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So they're looking for the series sweep here in Chicago.
Back to throw now on first down. Looking right sideline, that's complete. He will go out right near the 35-yard line. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think inclement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. First down, here's the run with Cook. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
88 yards rushing for him now in this one as he is closing in on 1,800 yards for the year.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And this is incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Handoff comes to Cook. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Again, it's Cook. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And the Vikings are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Dalvin Cook,
his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Back to throw. Sampson flinches with a catch over the middle. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Sampson. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game is certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Let's go. Switch.
Now a run with Cook. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
107 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And complete right side to Cook. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game. He's moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I want him out. They tend to leave him in.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
He'll drop to throw. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. Touchdown! A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Vikings look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
On first down, Sampson. He'll dump this down to Matt Breida. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll look to throw again. He finds his man, complete. That's Brooks. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now a throw here, hauled in. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Running out of the gun here, Breida. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Well, with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up because I'm not the head coach, okay? So he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On second down, it's Cook again. And he gets it down to the 32.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Push him back. Push him back. Check. Bang, bang.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
146 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Watch time.
On the give is Nwangu.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings,